On a rural hilltop in Georgia, a mysterious monument once stood, a testament to humanity's potential, or perhaps a chilling prophecy. Known as the Georgia Guidestones, these granite slabs held instructions for a world reborn. But who left them, and what do they truly mean? The monument stood in Elbert County, Georgia, United States, from 1980 to 2022. Standing at 19 feet 3 inches, 5.87 meters tall, it comprised 6 granite slabs, weighing a massive 237,746 pounds, 107,840 kilograms. Created by unknown individuals, the Georgia Guidestones were intended to guide humanity after a devastating event. However, their true purpose and origin have fueled conspiracy theories, including connections to Satanism, which ultimately led to the monument's destruction in 2022. At first glance, the Georgia Guidestones appear to be nothing more than a series of inscriptions etched into granite. But a closer look reveals something much deeper. A set of 10 guidelines for humanity, written in 8 different languages. Who placed them here, and why? In June 1979, a man using the pseudonym Robert C. Christian approached a local granite company, claiming to represent a group of concerned Americans. Inspired by Stonehenge, Christian wanted a granite monument that could withstand catastrophe and carry a message. This enigmatic figure envisioned a structure that would serve as a compass, calendar, and clock. But who was this mysterious R.C. Christian, and what was his true motivation? Joe Fendley, a representative of Elberton Granite, held Christian in low regard, believing him to be eccentric. In an attempt to dissuade him from pursuing the project, Fendley quoted a price several times higher than any previous project the company had undertaken, explaining that constructing the Guidestones would require additional tools and consultants. Surprisingly, Christian accepted the quote. During the payment arrangements, Christian claimed to represent a group that had planned to build the Guidestones for 20 years and desired anonymity. Christian selected Elbert County due to its abundance of local granite, rural landscape, mild climate, and his familial ties to the region. The total cost of the project remained undisclosed, but it surpassed $100,000, equivalent to $427,446 in 2024. Christian presented a scale model of the Guidestones and detailed specifications in a 10-page document. Christian purchased the 5-acre, 2-hectare site from a local farm owner, who, along with his children, was granted lifelong cattle grazing rights on the Guidestones land. The monument was situated off Georgia State Route 77, approximately 7 miles, 11 kilometers, north of Elberton. On March 22, 1980, the monument was unveiled by Congressman Doug Barnard in front of an audience estimated to be between 200 and 300 people. During the unveiling ceremony, a master of ceremonies read a message to the gathered attendees. The purported statement from the sponsors of the Georgia Guidestones conveyed a straightforward message for humanity, both present and future. The sponsors of this monument believes in the soundness of these 10 principles and allow them to stand on their own merits without the need for debate. Christian later transferred ownership of the land and the Guidestones to Elbert County. By 1981, barbed wire fencing was installed around the monument to deter cattle from using it as a scratching post. A man named Robert Christian, who identified himself as the originator, published a book titled Common Sense Renewed in 1986, which outlined the ideology behind the Guidestones. Christian emphasized that he was the sole author of the inscriptions and had the assistance of other American citizens in bringing the monument to fruition. He asserted that there were no hidden agendas or ulterior motives, and the goal was to promote peaceful coexistence without favoring specific creeds or philosophies. Fendley, an early proponent of the Guidestones, believed that the monument would become a regional tourist attraction. At the height of its time, in 2022, it reportedly drew an approximate 20,000 visitors annually. On the 4 large upright stones of the Georgia Guidestones, a message consisting of 10 guidelines or principles was inscribed in 8 different languages, 1 language on each face. Starting from due north and moving clockwise, the languages included English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, traditional Chinese, and Russian. The choice of languages aimed to represent most of humanity, with Hebrew selected specifically for its connections to Judaism and Christianity. According to the sponsors of the monument, the inscriptions were intended to guide humanity in conserving nature after a nuclear war, a threat the creators believed was imminent. The inscriptions covered 4 main themes: world government and governance, population and reproduction control, the environment and humanity's relationship with nature and spirituality. The inscription read as follows: maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. The first guideline, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, has been a source of both fascination and controversy. In a world facing resource scarcity and climate change, how do we balance human well-being with the health of our planet? The idea of maintaining the world's population under 500 million is certainly controversial. But if we look beyond the surface, we can see that the Guidestones are urging us to live in harmony with the natural world, a message that is more relevant now than ever before. But the Georgia Guidestones hold more than just population advice. They also offer guidance on topics such as politics, religion, and the environment. Each guideline is carefully crafted to provoke thought and reflection. The Guidestones challenge us to think critically about the world we live in and our place within it. They remind us that our actions have consequences and that we have a responsibility to future generations. Several feet westward from the monument, an additional granite ledger had been positioned flush with the ground. This stone tablet provided information about the structure, identifying the languages used and listing various facts related to the size, weight, and astronomical features of the stones. It also included the date of installation and the organizations that sponsored the project. The outer stones tracked the moon's complex 18.6-year cycle. A hole in the center pinpointed the North Star, and a slot aligned with solstices and equinoxes. A sunbeam through the capstone marked the day of the year at noon every day. These features hint at an intention to guide survivors of an unknown cataclysmic event, but perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the Georgia Guidestones is their mysterious origin. Who was R.C. Christian, and what motivated him to commission such a monument? The answers remain elusive, hidden in the shadows of time. The Guidestones, which have been the subject of much interest and speculation, have sparked controversy among various groups. Wired reported that opponents have referred to them as the 10 Commandments of the Antichrist, while some conservative Christians have labeled the monument as satanic. Mark Dice, a right-wing activist, demanded the destruction of the Guidestones, claiming they are of a deep satanic origin and that R.C. Christian belongs to a Luciferian secret society tied to the New World Order. At the monument's unveiling, a local minister denounced it as a place of worship for sun worshippers, cults, and devil worshippers. Conspiracy theorist Jay Widener drew attention to the pseudonym R.C. Christian, used by the person who commissioned the stones, suggesting it resembles Rosecross Christian, or Christian Rosenkreutz, the founder of the Rosicrucian order. Others agreeing with Widener pointed out a connection between the word R.C. as the Rosicrucian seal and the writing on the Guidestone's capstone. They also see similarities between the capstone's inscription and the title of Thomas Paine's work, The Age of Reason, which is associated with Rosicrucian thought. Some believe that the Guidestones are the work of a secret society, intent on shaping the course of human history. Others think they may hold clues to a future apocalypse. The truth is, we may never know for sure. On July 6, 2022, the Georgia Guidestones experienced a devastating turn of events. In the early hours of the morning, an explosive device detonated, resulting in the destruction of the Swahili Hindi language slab and causing substantial damage to the capstone. The thunderous explosions shook the surrounding area, with residents reporting both hearing and feeling the impact at approximately 4 in the morning. CCTV footage captured a vehicle swiftly departing the scene, prompting a thorough investigation by law enforcement. Following the incident, authorities deemed it necessary to dismantle the remaining stones as a safety precaution, utilizing a backhoe later in the day. As reported by the Elberton Star, excavations failed to uncover any evidence of a time capsule ever having been placed beneath the Georgia Guidestones. On the evening of the bombing, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the GBI, released a video showing the explosion and a vehicle of interest leaving the scene shortly before. No motive has been publicly revealed, and no suspects have been publicly identified. The Elbert County Sheriff's Office, with assistance from the GBI, is investigating the bombing. On July 14, 2022, and again on July 25, 2022, the GBI provided updates, indicating that there has been no significant progress in the case since the bombing. Prosecutors have suggested that because the Guidestones were maintained by the county, they are considered a public building, and their destruction would carry a minimum sentence of 20 years in prison. In late July 2022, Elberton Mayor Daniel Graves declared the town's intention to rebuild the monument in its original form, expressing enthusiasm and anticipation for the project. However, on August 8, 2022, the Elberton City Council voted to initiate legal procedures to return the 5-acre land, where the monument once stood, to its previous owner, a local farm. Furthermore, the City Council announced that the remains of the monument, which had been temporarily relocated for safety reasons, would be transferred to the Elberton Granite Association. Both the association and the City Council expressed skepticism about the likelihood of rebuilding the Guidestones, but remained hopeful for its potential in the future. The Georgia Guidestones may be gone, but their enigma remains. Were they the work of visionaries or a chilling testament to humanity's darker impulses? The answers, like the origin of the monument itself, remain shrouded in mystery. Perhaps the answers lie not in grand solutions, but in the haunting echoes of the unknown. For the truth, curiosity never rests. As elusive as it may be, is the very lifeblood of the mystery. Until next time, remember the shadows whisper. Wind carries forgotten tales. The veil between the known and the unknown is always tantalizingly thin. Stay curious, stay skeptical. Most importantly, never stop questioning. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment below.